From sea to shining
teams.
sea.
Teams. What's going on?
From sea to shining sea, Paul. Everybody's going to get the C.
The C.
Not talking vitamin C. Not talking
It's
calcium.
like a C, weak C upgrade? What are you talking about?
A little Europe. A little USB-C.
Oh, the USBs. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm always amused when things like this cause like flare-ups, you know? People get really entrenched on everything. You know? And I would say in our world there are people who kind of argue just on theoretical terms, you know, like I think this is bad. You know, does it impact you? No, but you know, that kind of thing. But the big argument against this, which is amusing to me, is e-waste. You know, which Apple caused when they moved from the previous connected to the Lightning connector, and the fact that Apple has USB-C on many of its products and Lightning on some of its products creates an e-waste of its own.
Yep.
You know, that you still need like two different types of cables for everything. But now that like someone is mandating like, oh no, you got to change this. Like, whoa, what about the e-waste? You know, and it's like, guys, you know, moving to a standard port format, charger format, whatever, will ultimately reduce e-waste. That's point. We're trying to get away from the wasteful past.
So here's a blind
and all your stuff that you have now doesn't work. You want to prevent e-waste. Sorry to interrupt. Just keep using the same thing. Just don't upgrade all the time.
If you had to guess, when did Apple introduce or debut?
Oh, how long ago?
The Lightning cable.
Yeah, let me think about that for a moment. It was almost certainly the iPhone 5 or 5S. I don't remember which, but I bet it was because I know the 4 came up with the well, I think the 4 did. Tell me.
Over a decade ago.
Oh, well, maybe I'm off a little bit then.
September according to Bing, so you know, take whatever. September 12th, 2012.
2012. So the 5th year of the iPod. So we had iPhone 3G, 3GS, 4, 4S. So it must have been like 4S.
Yeah.
4S. Okay.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing back then, by the way, the big outrage was everyone had just standardized on whatever that old port connector was called. It's big, you know, the big big connector. Most hotels, or many hotels, nice hotels, had clock radios with that port built in.
Yep.
Right. My gym still has ellipticals because my gym is Stone Age that have that cable built into it. You know, there's a person in that gym who could use that thing. Yeah, I mean, this is the same argument. Now, granted, you move forward in time a decade, there may have been, you know, some hundreds of millions of people with these devices, and now I'm sure there are billions or over billions, certainly, whatever it is. But, you know, this is a time moves on kind of thing, kind of guys, you know, and this is the right, we're talking about this too much. This is the right thing to do. Period. Like you know, this is the right thing to do. You talk about this. You've been talking about this.
Yeah, just wait.
Everyone talks about this. How nice would it be? And I still have just every once in a while, a device with the micro USB or whatever it's called, you know, that kind of thing. Like there are Kindles sitting around that still have those connections. The Kindle, the Fire tablets have only recently started moving to USB-C. I have a pair of Bose wired noise canceling earbud things that still have the micro USB or whatever the name of that is. It's terrible not, you know, when you have a device, you turn it over and you're like, oh, come on. There are probably lots of Xbox controllers out in the world that still have USB, micro USB, whatever. Right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand the argument against this. I don't get it. You can't move forward because e-waste. Because e-waste is occurring. It's not going to, this will make it better. Right? You take a hit. You know?
My favorite e-waste story, which there are not many of. I don't even know. It's really more of an adapter connect. I think we were flying to Amsterdam, or we were flying home. We were together. and I had a pair of noise canceling headphones. I don't know if they were the Bose or what it was. I mean, this is like 5 years ago at this point. And you
Yep.
and I were in the airport, and I was trying to find the adapter that would allow me to plug in so that I could connect directly to the in-flight entertainment thing, because I
That's
didn't do Bluetooth.
Which was probably USB-A.
I can't remember what it was, but I remember you and I were in this little shop, and
Oh yeah.
I can't remember if you said this is the one, just buy it, it'll be fine, because like we were in a hurry, and I spent like a ton of money on this thing, like $15 for a stupid
I
adapter.
like that this has turned into my fault. Yeah. And
Hey, well, it's always your fault. And so we get on the plane, and then the adapter didn't work. Like, just didn't work with the connection. I remember
you
this.
have reminded me, I mean, airplanes, by and large, I've never seen a USB-C port in an airplane. Doesn't mean they don't exist. I fly it. I just fly United or whatever now. So, but they have USB-A ports.
Yep.
And I just ran into this past weekend. We had to rent a car, and this car had a single USB-A port in the middle of the dash where the connection things were. And it was like, I said, hold on, we can't leave. We got to go get our little adapter, because the adapter has the USB-C ports, which we use for everything. And in the bag that I carry on, I have a USB-C to USB-A and a Lightning to A adapter, a cable rather, because I want to be, just in case. Like, this is like, I own these things because just in case. So yeah, the whole world can't just switch. Like, those planes aren't going to go USB-C tomorrow. They're probably never going to go. They'll wait until they upgrade the planes or something. I'm sure.
Can you imagine them trying to back up a 737 to the landfill? Just like, nope, we're scrapping it, and they just try to just push it into the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, no, we're going to be stuck with this for years to come. It's just it's a hard thing. I mean, it's not just Lightning. It's USB-C, USB-A. Right? And that's the other issue. And you and I talked about all the weirdnesses with the USB-C versions and the different capabilities, the power delivery stuff, the display port stuff, the blah, 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 whatever, the different transfer speeds. I mean, it's complicated. It's still going to be complicated. One thing that will make it less complicated is at least one plug will work. I mean, it's just common sense. But people like to argue, that's the world we live in.
We'll get to
everything
see
is an affront.
I don't know.
I'm waiting for USB-D personally, but
the interesting thing about when I think this ruling in the EU goes into effect, we could actually see 2 more iPhones with Lightning before it gets to C, because I think it's a late fall deadline. So
that would be dumb on Apple's part. They're already rumored to be moving to USB-C next year.
Although I feel like that rumor's been every year for.
I know. But the thing is, dragging this out just creates more e-waste, right? If you're serious about eliminating e-waste, you move to this quickly. There are transitionary things that Apple can do, not on the iPhone. There's nothing you do with a port on a phone, but I know Apple still uses Lightning on a couple of other things. I think the
AirPods Pro 2.
The AirPods, is a good example. Those are a semi-easy solution in the sense that you can buy a USB-C case, or you will be able to, right, in the future. You can just do wireless charging, if you have the right version, et cetera, et cetera. I think wireless charging helps solve the problem. You get like a wireless charger with a USB-C adapter with a plug and, whatever. And then whatever your phone is, wireless charging will work, like that works. Anyway, I don't know. I fret for the world.
I was almost happy yesterday, Paul. I was almost happy.
Almost happy.
So, okay. And I'm probably the 7 millionth person to figure this out, and I'm a late adopter by all means. So we finally bought one of the MagSafe charger things. Now that my wife's phone support it, we both support it. Whatever, it can charge both of our phones now. It can charge.
And this is something for the home or for your car, or
just for the house. Like, it's in our kitchen, so it's just plugged in.
Like a little plug that is plugged into the wall somewhere.
So you can drop, my wife can, because she has newer AirPods. So you can drop her AirPods on there, and they charge. I'm like, oh, I wonder if I could do it with my watch. Nope. Why would I expect, that?
Oh, well, okay, but you have an older watch.
Do the new ones do it?
My watch charge on I bet it doesn't. Actually, I don't think it does.
I don't think they do.
It does. I don't think it does. Space is at a premium in these things.
But they already support wireless charging. That's what the whole watch charger is. It's a bitty MagSafe.
If you're suggesting that Apple's adoption of proprietary technology has any way held us back,
I was like, I've got this figured. Like I was like, I've almost got this figured out. That we're down to one cable ish, right?
The problem with like Qi wireless charging is the problem with everything else that was invented somewhere other than Apple. They can't put a fun brand on it, you know?
Yeah.
So they can't call it like, can't have like Magic Leap. What's the name? I guess. You know, Magic Charge, you know, or something. Just hold your watch near the electrical outlet and it will start charging, or whatever. You know, they do their own thing. Then this is the root of the problem we were talking about the whole time. E-waste.
Yep.
People yell out, blame Apple. Just blame Apple. They should have gone USB-C years ago. Years ago. Why didn't they, by the way?
Yeah,
I think the reason is licensing costs. Like they own Lightning, they're going to milk it for all it's worth, right? Is that probably it?
They can sell more cables. They can sell more stuff.
The second they change, they're going to sell more cables, right? I don't. USB-C, all the things. That's all I'm saying. Let's do it. Hit the bullet.